Testing. Testing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the proper npmx meetup. So first of all, I want to say thanks to AGGrid. Do you want to say something?
Thank you. Honestly, I just wanted attention. No, I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Sylvia. I joined AGGrid just 3 months ago, so don't quiz me too much about our products. But AGGrid is said to be the best grid in the world. It's framework agnostic, but except for the data grid, we also have charts and also dashboarding framework. So yeah, definitely check it out, and you can grill me a little bit. So next time I'm gonna be better at that. So welcome. We usually don't host anything here. This is actually our first event ever. So please tell me about all the things you like and all the things, and especially the things you don't like. We all can feel the temperature, so that next time everything can be much better and progressively better and better. Anyway, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed the drinks and the talks, of course. Thank you.
First of all, some quick housekeeping. The toilets are over there. Fire exits, I guess, are there. And then we have a code of conduct. Please read it. Basically, TLDR, don't be a dick. We have a bunch of talks. So first up, we're going to have Matias, who's going to give, you might know his patak.dog, cat. Sorry, my bad. He's going to give some introductions to npmx, for those of you who don't know. Then we have Alex talking about trust. Then we're going to try our way through a panel. And then at the end, we're going to go to the pub. It's just around the corner, long arm. Yeah, cool. Right, thanks.
Okay. So help me with this. Like this?
Yes, that's a clicker. If you want.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes. It's fine? Okay, yeah. So first, thanks Willow that was running around everywhere to prepare everything. And thank you so much, Sylvia. So good to finally meet you. And thank AGGrid to put this here. I hope the first meetup of many. If all the pizza was awesome. Yeah, and thanks everybody that joined the meetup. Like I know that there are people that fly from Germany or something. So yeah, thanks a lot. And I'm going to do a quick intro. We were with Daniel in A Coruña in the Web Engine Hackfest. That was really nice. They allow us to have a talk there. Going to go through some slides that we have from them, and then I will give the room to Alex. So this was from the latest GitHub report, and JavaScript and TypeScript completely went bananas. And this is about npm being the largest software registry that I don't want to see the next year, because with all the Asians doing things around, this must be crazy. And so npm is actually three things that we bundled together, and all of them we put the same logo, so it is incredibly confusing. But npm, the registry, has other people working on alternatives like JSR. We were with them there in A Coruña. Really, really nice people. We are working together with them in npmx too. And people like VLT. And there is a lot of innovation that is actually pretty needed. npm right now, it is in the hands of Microsoft, that is a small company that, okay, it's understandable with all the Asians working on them. And yeah, so it's good that there is innovation there. And on the CLI side, we have projects like Yarn. We are using PNPM in the Bit ecosystem in like front-end world, like npm is huge right now. And on the website side, that is like the browser for the packages, there has not been much. There has been some like websites, but none of them like really took off until Daniel started a little project and then invited a couple of people, and a couple of people invited their friends, and their friends invited their friends, and we are all here now and doing the npmx meetup. So this was npmx.com. It is right now. Actually, they have, this is an old screenshot. They have dark mode now. That is very good that they added. They should check out the code because it is, some styles are still missing there for the dark mode. But if you go to any page now in npmx.com and put an X at the beginning, you're going to end up in npmx dev. And yeah, like in 2 days, there was this prototype that attracted like people to collaborate. We're starting to merge a lot of PRs. Like there, Daniel did an incredible job, like merging. I think in the first 2 weeks, we're going to see like there was like 1K issues and PR open, like just in 2 weeks. A ton of activities, a lot of like, I think it really showed us that we can take a piece of like our life as developers that wasn't working for us, and actually as a community, like take over and do what we need. So it really helped us. And so like about the product, it is interesting because we went with an iterative approach. Like there was a lot of like, let's merge PR because we know that we are going to keep changing and iterating, but there was a clear vision of where we want to go. And so we use it Nux for this, and like there is full with convention and happy paths that make collaborating a lot easier. We empower a lot of people that care. Like we were very lucky to be joined by people from the accessibility community, from like EITNE, but for perf, and like everybody that actually care about a little part of the product just was empowered to move forward and like help do things. And yeah, so we started working. We didn't even mention npmx at the first like 2 weeks, I think, and we didn't even share links during a month. So it was really organic how things were growing. We optimize it for adoption, and this means that maybe like the URL path we have like with package there is not the one that we would have preferred, but it gives a lot of value to actually like continue what was already working on npmx.com. And yeah, we also meet our users and our contributors where they are, and this means that we will love to use, for example, open networks for chat and like, let's say, an alternative for Discord and other things. But if we have to, at this point, for example, all the developers are in Discord, and we are going to be there until there is a nicer alternative. And yeah, we work in community, and this is like very important for us. npmx is humans first. We have stickers there about humans first around. And this is very important to us because a lot of products are going Asian first right now. And they are caring a lot more about these Asians going around, and like we want to chat and discuss with other humans. And sometimes it's going to be like very difficult. If you go to a GitHub PR, trying to find where are the two human discussion or like several human discussing is going to be very hard. And yeah, everyone that shares our values is welcome, but we have like a kind of high bar for that values that is shared in this room. New contributors are treated as peers. This is incredibly important for us. I hope that this is how people that join the project feel. Like this is how we all feel like also when we start new projects. We do governance through roles, and there is no like a hierarchy of like someone making all the decisions. We really try to involve as much as possible everyone. And yeah, like we try to create this experience between like the chat, social, GitHub, like connect it as a way to, like, we care a lot about the communication tools that we use together. And this is also why npmx is kind of interesting. Like, at the end of the day, what we are doing with our dependencies is like communicate on between like developers. It is like npm is a big like network of developers that working together. And yeah, we shape our online spaces together. And this like way of working give us through, not only through npmx, but like npmx is kind of a lot of communities that are converging in doing a product. Like, we came from Vite or Nux or like the E18 community, a lot of like different communities, even like at Proto, and like all together we create, yeah, this is all the contributors right now in the project. That is, I think, about to hit 300. That's not bad. I think the project started like 5 months ago, so it's quite good in the numbers. And the upper row is all the maintainers of the project, and these are the core contributors that already like invested like more time in the project. And yeah, it has been amazing. I think that npmx is as much a community as it is a product, and this is like why we like working together. In a sense, it is a very, very good excuse to spend time together doing cool things. And this way of working and like this, all this connection and all this like feeling of like, yeah, we can take things and do what we need together, like led to like npmx was during the first quarter from the new open source project was the top in the top faster in contributors growing, that in all GitHub. That is like quite amazing what we achieved together. And like, I think what is more amazing is that in the top 10, npmx was the only one that was not about AI. That is very good that there is one that is not about AI and is on the top. And yeah, just like a quick timeline, this is what I was saying, that Daniel, after like sending that blue sky post that exploded with everybody having like this same need that we had for a long time, it was already like 50 PRs in the first day, 1K issues in the second week. And yeah, in the 4th week, it was very fun. That it was going exponential. We were having a lot of fun. People were saying, "I'm having a lot of fun. I'm not sleeping anymore," and that was not good. So we decided, no, we need to like stop that. As like Daniel jokes, like we decided we are not going to take our opportunity to get VC money, and we just went in a vacation for a week, closed it all Discord, we closed it GitHub, and we just rested. And it really worked it out. And when we were back on the 6th week, we did this alpha release. Like, Salma helped it a lot there, and it was just amazing. Like 26 different blog posts from people in the community were released during at the same day. And like, yeah, from like Salma how to make a contribution, or like the virtual circle from Daniel, and there were like so many people sharing their own experience when working like with others in the project. And yeah, like E18 community. And this was interesting because Philippe, like very senior developer working in Netlify, that like he shared like how working with others had helped him like improve a ton. And on the other side, Paula, that actually like shared like such a beautiful blog post and like was involved so much afterwards, like saying how like npmx and the community helped her like overcome the imposter syndrome and do her first contribution to open source. But that was like incredibly important. And yeah, it was a very, very fun day. And yeah, wow. Okay, so and the community like took over. Alex and Alphon like starting to do these noodles. That given that Google is not doing this that much, that often anymore, we are taking over that too. So we have, yes. We have big ambitions. So like, yeah, we did one for Artemis 2 and like the Freedom Press Day, and now all of June for Pride Month, like we have like different ones that I don't know which is the next one. Yeah, and npmx is like also inscribed in npm itself, like with all these are some of our biggest dependencies. And we like, as part of what we are doing, because npmx is being like widely adopted, we have an opportunity to start helping like improve this. And this is like also something that will be very interesting to discuss together in this meetup and other avenues. Is like, if we really have as a community this website that users are starting to use a lot, and maybe like it is the kind of the default one day, let's say, what we do, what we do with it, like how we help the ecosystem. And one of the things that, for example, we are already starting to do is like with the help of model replacement from the E18E community. Now, like if you go to a package like FastGlove, you're going to see that there is a nice warning that say like, hey, look, I know that you see the 94 million downloads and that you are like used to just look at a number and just press install, but there is this other package called TinyGlovey that everybody is using right now. This is better. Like it's like half the size, and yeah, and this hopefully helps the ecosystem move there, and then the E18E people don't need to go and like clean up and move it manually. And not only that, like for example, this package has 200 million downloads, and it's not needed. Like the platform already gives you what you have to do. They just use the has own property, and when that happens, we also show a warning, and we send people to MDN to actually use the platform. And hopefully that package is going to go to 0 at one point. And yeah, and there's like full of features. Like the timeline was a very nice example of collaboration. Like James started it, and then like Alec created the graph. And like, yeah, it is really, really interesting to see, not only like useful for users, but also useful for maintainers. Maybe at one point, we need even like a view as like, are you a maintainer or a user? And then we can show even more information for maintainers, because it's really nice to see all the things that we can show. And right now, for example, it is like about the size or like the module type changing to ESM, but also there are things about like security, like trusted publishing, and maybe there are like other things. Maybe, I don't know, like there is a new maintainer that came out of the blue, like check out, you know, like there is things that we need to start discussing how, like, yeah, what kind of information we can start surfacing to help users. And yeah, basically it's like an open invitation to, like, you all probably are building with us already, but for the people that are online, if you want to build with us, you can go to build.npmx.dev. There's like our community chat, and yeah, build with us. And now we're going to go with Alex. Let's go. Right. Yes.
You can do everything, but I'm not sure that I can do it. Okay. Oh, I can do it actually. So let me quickly check. Where's mine? And here's mine.
Yes.
I can do it.
And you can press there the word.
Okay. Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Is everything good?
Yes.
How are you? Nice. It's really nice to see you all. And I'll be honest, I don't going to talk a lot about npmx because I knew there's no way to talk it in more interesting way than Matias do. He's amazing in it. And you know, it's amazing all the time when you wake up and you hear lots of news from him. Like you just went to sleep at 12 and next morning at 6 a.m. there are already a few news. It's happened so fast. It's really great thing. And that's why I don't go and talk about this. But I will love to talk about something important as well, about trust network. Because in the end, it's all about people, about peers, and about trust. And when we hear about networks now, all of the time we hear about what neural networks. And if we will ask how exactly it works, they will say something complicated, no one understands, and something weird. And if you will Google, we will see something like this. Just tons of connections, and in the end, it will return that or another one token. But there is something more interesting, how we work with trust. Why do we believe as a person? because, well, why I believe to Matias? I have no idea. Why I believe to all of you? I don't know. If I will try to find these special rules and take the same rules to another person, I don't think it won't work, because it's trust superposition. It's called Schrödinger cat, if you know, because it just works in a random way. I don't want to even try to understand how it works, these superpositions. And continues the theme of trust. A bit about me. Sorry, I'm not Matias and others here. I have to explain a bit who I am. I have several years in front end, mostly React and Next, and again, not the most popular thing here. And my first experience with Next was in npmx, and I'm a core team. And I love to work most of my time with this team and with this tooling. It's amazing space and amazing community. Thanks for welcoming me and for help for the first time. Thanks. And yes, I'm a core member of npmx. I create, for example, a Sky app. Someone is working with at Proto. It was pretty girly app view, alternative app view. It was first pin Sky because we didn't have bookmarks at that period of time. And that's why I implemented pin Sky and then add Sky app. There's lots of interesting features. Feel free to test. Sometimes write articles at occasional speaker and sometimes participate in communities. And at work, I mostly worked with marketing and content. That's one more thing I love to do with npmx. And in short, I just always working with content, people, and engineering, of course. What I'm going to talk today about how we work with content, why we trust it, about the protein standard, of course, and how to connect all of this. And if you do know at protein standards, you'll find that all of these points are related. First, let's talk about data growth, because we can talk about content without this point, because data growing year by year. More content is being created, a lot more, dramatically more. Now we have more than 20,000 gigabytes per each person. How many gigabytes do you have in your laptop? Is it full? Is there even lots of real content? I know, I think I brought maybe a few gigabytes, but in internet we have more than 20,000. And it will grow more and more. And when I saw that, oh no, I wanna understand better. I need a better way to understand how exactly we work with content, why exactly we trust it, what exactly people are looking for. Just as that wasn't an option. And the thing I found that will be good is scientific publications. Sorry, dear scientists, I know I will say lots of terrible things now, but I think it's a good option. And I found it. There is such a statistics. For example, open access publication grows from 2003 to 2022. And first, who's thinking that this growth is less than twice between 2003 to 2022? Please applaud who's thinking that less. Oh, no one. I saw that at least some. So I definitely did not have to ask who's thinking that more. I had to ask maybe bigger number. Who's thinking that less than 10x? Okay, a few. Less than 100x. The scientific publications. Wow. Okay, so there is not a surprise. The growth is more than 5,000%. Well, it's 50 times. So you were wrong. It's less than 100 times. So it's just 50 times. And it's a publication in open access before 2022, published per year. I will share the research in the end. Quite a lot, but here important to quickly share that science have different ways of how they publish their researches. And one is closed access, another is hybrid access, closed it's only by subscription, and not everyone can read it. It's maybe only for specific group, or maybe for those who paid for subscription. Then give read access, it's, for example, when first it's closed, then they open, then for subscribers, then maybe fully free. Then green, that's fully free of charge for every site, and gold, paid by afters. What do you think? Where of those groups it was that grows? 5,000%. Can someone guess? And yeah, and that's gold. You know what's important? That afters are ready to pay pretty big amount of money, something like from 2,000 to 10,000, sometimes even more. Afters of scientific publications pay sometimes from their own funds to publish in their specific journals. Yeah, and it's important. Why? Because when we talk about science, it's dramatically important, and the legitimacy of this journal, its ranking, its impact to science. It's important for every scientist to make their work good and open to other people. And in the end, it's all about trust. That's why half of the total publications are published in just 21 publishers. And trust is superpower. And that's my circle of trust. And people who I trust just because, honestly, this is it. Okay, this is it. And I think that's just a short list. If someone notices, that's my Blue Sky subscriptions. And do trust each of those person just because I know that behind each of these avatar is real identity. And it will surprise some of those people that I do use by default following feed. I don't use For You feed. And trust is important everywhere. That's why we also love npmx, because it's not just a good interface, it's just not performance. It's first of all about people, but also it's about trust. Because every time when we are looking for a package, it's important to understand what is behind this package. That's why we show different community messages. That's why we analyze dependencies. That's why we analyze maintainers and give all of this information to each person every time you visit the package. Provenance and much more. And timeline is mentioned before. But what about content? We have some popular platforms, Medium, HackerNoon, Dev2, Hashnode. There's someone using at least one of them now. It's a daily source of truth. Definitely not. I used before. I used it another one, to be honest, be it like 4 years ago. And I think at that period, there was some amount of trust, but it was nothing. And the main source of trust for us, for most of us, are social networks, who do read almost on a daily basis articles written by those who you follow. Well, I do. Yes, and yours and everyone. Again, I use following feed, and every time I at least scroll my feed, I see dozens of really great articles by great authors. Again, I trust them. I believe that these articles will be great. I don't spend my time to nothing. Again, it's about trust. And a protocol is a thing that doing a magic here, that behind this profile is not just something, not something that will change tomorrow, not something that tomorrow by this username, I can expect some other person just because previous person removed it, and now there is someone new. This is controlled by that person, and I follow them directly. And now we met in new heroes. Leaflet, amazing platform, was one of the first at Proto who implemented great connection between articles, who connected directly to Proto, and who did a great job to start working with rich text for all of us. Pocket, one more. I hope you tried it, but that's a really beautiful platform, and also highly recommend to follow Brookie in each of her accounts. It's amazing I know there's dozens of them, but follow each of them. It's an amazing platform, really beautiful with great features. And also we have Offprint. It's relatively new platform, and they trying to implement, I think, more something like Notion format for the content. It's also great. And the important part is that they want to work on trust. They wanted not to just build yet another platform that will be used by them and their users, but they want to make it shareable for all the community, all the environment. And they implement standard side, that a shared standard that can be reused by any platform and by any person as well. That's how it usually looks like. This is how standard itself looks like. We have information about the related site. We have information where exactly the document, this article is located in our website, title, description, when it was published, and text content to be sure that every platform, every service, if you would like to render RSS, if you would like to render HTML, view, anything, you will have this possibility, just use text content and show the information about this article. But sometimes we do need something more complicated than just text. And that's why we have content filed as well. And content contain blogs. And blogs, if someone worked with WYSIWYG, that's really standard way to work with them, where you don't store some markdown, but you store block by block and describe each of them. You definitely worked with Notion, where everything is a block image or paragraph, and one block is one semantic section. And if you want to render it, you just go block by block, analyze it, and render it. Yeah, that's it. And this gives us a flexible structure. If some platform want to support gallery, they can support gallery. If some, like Leaflet, want to support internal documents, they just add one more block and store everything there. But we have a problem from this, that every platform has their own blocks. But sometimes it looks absolutely the same way. But they have different structures, different schemas. And the render pipeline usually looks like this. If you want to render different platforms at once, you should go for each platform by different cycles. Because for Leaflet, you want to render internal documents. For Pocket, you want to render galleries. For Offprint, you want to render more connections and embeds, specific embeds. And that's why you have to process all of them separately. But it's kind of familiar pattern. If you think that we have a problem, that we have different structures, it looks the same, but we have to work for them in different processes, what do we need? We need to unify them. And what's the option to unify in development? It was mentioned by handlebars, solved by handlebars, by Punk, by SCSS, ESLint, by Markdown, lots more, a lot more. It's quite a short list. Every tool at one point meet these problems that they need to work with different structures, different languages, different schemas, different formats. They want to process them in one way. How they do it? They need a core abstraction. And someone guess what it could be? Oh, no. Oh, well, kind of JSON. What's Dust? Abstract syntax tree. If you worked at one point with these ideas that you need to process a large amount, first of all, it usually processes through AST. It creates this tree, and then you work with this tree. And abstract syntax tree representation, and each node of the tree denotes a constant occurring in the text. Who care about this explanation? They're always terrible. But in the end, instead of this terrible random pipeline where we have to go for each platform in different streams, we can unify it. And now we can just convert it to AST and then work with this universal structure only once, because we have universal schema. And we can implement universal engine to render it. We can render to JSX, to Vue, to HTML, to sitemap, to whatever, to RSS. And even more interesting is that it's bidirectional, actually. Let's take a look again. We have this parse to us from each platform. We can then sanitize, process, improve the content, maybe replace images. We can do whatever we want with this content. And in the end, instead of render, we can convert once again. We can convert it back to any other platform. And that's a huge feature that we receive it with standard site, with Proto, that we're not just related to a platform in terms where we store content, but we also can easily migrate from one source to another. And we can do it. For example, we can render it. And I did it a few times. I did it on my website. If someone know me, they saw maybe that I have a website where I migrated a blog recently. And I hope I can open it. This is my blog. And all of these articles are actually at Proto Records, exactly what I showed before. This is it. That's how it looks like. This is all of the blogs. It's all of the formatting. If you want to, you can visit it, alexdillon.com. It's my identity. And inspect. You can also inspect in PDSLS. Also, my website is powered on JS6 and Next.js. npmx, as you know, is powered on Vue and Next. And as I said before, because we have this universal engine, we don't need to implement the processing for each platform, for each language individually. We just need one more connector to convert the final result to another language. If you want to convert to HTML, just write connect final AST to HTML, convert to RSS. By the way, I have an RSS as well. It also generated. Oh, good. I don't have RSS. But we can. And if you want to render to Vue or Next, once again, just one more connector. And here it is. That's my story, the same article. If you want to see someone else.
Is that referring to your personal Proto?
It was the same records in my PDS. And not just mine. Fuck it. Did I wrote this wrong? They definitely have articles. What about the one? Boris? Oh God. What is his domain?
Is it .ca?
Maybe. Oh God, of course I do. I missed the blog, sorry. Yeah, and we do have it for everyone. It ran dynamically because I know the domain, their identity, and I can connect dynamically to every person who published to @proto, and I can just render all of their articles. That's how article really looks like. It's not a problem of engine. There was something more complicated. Okay, not the best example. I also implement yet another platform and connect it here as well, because the only thing we need to connect is just, is it English? Oh, here it is. The only thing we need, oh, let's see Pocket here. We need to render just to make one more connector. And so we can connect it to any site and render whatever we want. If I would like to render others' article on my blog, well, why not? If I would like to render it in a dialogue, just do it. That's an amazing stuff. We receive it because of Proto. And that's all. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Is it going to remain as a secret feature of the box in npmx?
You know that I'm too lazy to finish it. But what I do hope to implement it as packages, and I hope we'll find energy and time and people who need it to make it finally happen. Because in the end, what we will receive is a list of packages that can convert it dynamically. And everything you need is just to use this package to say your identity, and that's it. Every time when you publish to Pocket, to Leaflet, to any other Proto platform, it will immediately show in your blog. That's great. And I do hope we'll implement it. Almost ready. I'm just lazy to finish. Great. Well, yes.
Could you go the other way around and start publishing packages onto AT protocol that then can be rendered as a blog? Like a
Yes. As I said, it's bidirectional, and no one says that. I did it, for example, I transferred my articles from Medium, and what I did, I just converted my Medium to AST, and then from AST to those platforms. We can do it. We can convert from Markdown to AST, then process and convert to platforms. We can do it from platforms to Markdown, from XML to Markdown to AST to platform to Pocket to Leaflet, any combination we want. Just create one more provider. You want to support some specific website. I know you want to support HackerNoon. Just implement provider who will convert their HTML to AST, and then you will receive all the logic to convert AST to any platform.
Yeah, can you convert? So you can make a converter that converts a npm tarball and its AST of the contents of it.
Yes.
And then be able to.
Yeah, we can.
Turn that into a blog post.
Yes.
Announcement of a new release.
Yes.
You just generate it. Well, if everything could be converted into anything.
Yeah.
It should just be
Absolutely.
anything that could be
It's not.
this.
Yeah. In the end, it's just a format of rich text, and it's not specifically about blog post. It can be about readmes, it can be about anything. Great. Well, if you have anything else, please join us to npmx and let us know if you need something else. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you.
We'll take like a 10-minute break, I guess. Also, do we want to get a selfie real quick, maybe?
Is there a fifth person or there's just four? No, Willow.
It's Willow.
I want she's. Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank
For the audience.
you. You haven't asked for it.
Yeah.
And we have to hand this one.
No, it should be fine
We
now.
have to talk like this.
It should be fine,
Okay.
I think.
So we're going to do basically Q&A. We'll take audience questions from online as well because we're streaming. Say hi. And yeah, so if you've got a question in the audience, just put your hand up and we'll go through a few of them. But yeah, anything to do with npmx, or it could be to do with the npm ecosystem or just JavaScript in general. Or if you want to rant about some things, let us know.
npmx or JavaScript or just ranting.
we can do all people. But yeah, go for it.
Most obvious one is there's only so much use in the npm website. So is the end goal to become a new command line and registry like that?
We can go for you, Daniel, if you want on that one.
So the end goal is not to be a new registry. So I like to think of npmx as the glue that will hopefully make developers' lives better without replacing tools that are doing a good job. But where, for example, there are people working on things like DLT or JSR, it might be that npmx can help people use multiple registries. So if people, for example, wished today to migrate or use JSR more, they would find that very difficult because a lot of tooling is npm focused. Whereas something like npmx might be able to help them do that by bridging between different registries. In a similar way as we're trying to help with different Git forges. So supporting not just GitHub and GitLab, but we also support Tangled and Codeberg and Bitbucket and all kinds of other things. So again, gluing between different tools that developers already use. Developing any one of those is an incredibly difficult thing, and we don't. But I mean, we'll explore anything we can do to help make developers' lives better. But mostly, I think the answer is glue.
I would say like we may end up building like CLI tooling to help with stuff like this, but not necessarily an npm CLI, the whole thing.
We do now have the npmx package on npm, which was very kindly donated to us. I need to shout out to him. Actually, he's looking for a job, so maybe we'll do that.
Very good at picking packages.
Very good at making packages, and also a very generous guy. He's just like, sure, here you go. So yes, expect the npmx CLI, but not to replace npm.
Any other questions? Go on.
So following on from that one, would it be a good thing for the community if there was another registry which took the crown of the current?
Very different.
Go for it.
It's a topic I'm very passionate about. Yeah. It will be great that if there are other, and actually we were with the JSR Fox with Leo, Luca was there also. Now that we were in Coruña, and they are great registries. The problem is that in the same way that it's like a really interesting runtime, Node has such big network effects that it's like competing with the web at one point. Like it's very hard. And an npm, like it's crazy the network effect that it has. So it will be hard, like it is being hard for them to be able to convince enough maintainers to move or like dual publishing. Like it is hard to see the benefit. I love that there is innovation, but I don't know what, like, how it will evolve in the future. I think we need more. Like we cannot accept, like the JavaScript community and ecosystem cannot accept the current state of things forever, because like we are like beginning to be like drawn in security vulnerabilities. Like every week there is a new worm going around, and like we need change. And I don't know, like it doesn't seem that change is going to come from the current registry in the current way things are working. So something needs to be done. I don't know what is the answer, and I think this is a question that is not for today, but it's something that we need to start discussing the wide community, like the companies involved, like in the web, and everyone to see like what we do, because it's also like it's understandable, like it costs a ton of money, and I don't think that, for example, Microsoft at this point is getting a lot of love for the work they are doing at npm. No, you know, it is. So yeah, I don't have an answer right now, but I think we clearly need to like have that conversation, and hopefully something like npmx that is a more neutral layer, that if we as a community start, like everybody start using like the, let's say like the documentations around and start to switch like from all the links around, and we have like a very, very wide user base, I think we have possibilities like to help new options, like Daniel was saying, or to maybe there appear a proxy, I don't know, or a company start to do a mirror that has more security features, or I don't know.
Well, I would also say that I would like a future where there are multiple registries. We don't necessarily need one super registry that's the one that everybody uses. You know, you can see where there may be multiple big registries, and you can choose between them based on whatever it is you like, what stack you're in, or something like that, or for different security features and things. But something down that path, so that it's not a vast cost for supporting a single, like here's the entire JS ecosystem. Something along those lines.
I would also like to add that the problem why we're talking this way is because core itself of those registries isn't bad. They know how to store data, they're trying to improve it, but they just miss a few important points. We don't need to invent everything, because most of these works. They store all the packages, we can connect, we can install all the time. The only problem is that they just miss such an important part like security. And do we need another registry just because of security reason, or we can solve it in other way? Like we're trying to solve it just by UI. Maybe we can improve it by proxy. Maybe we'll find something else. Oh yes, it's some things that we definitely had to find.
For example, already the next version of npm, version 12, I think, will ship with not running install like lifecycle scripts at all, which is a huge improvement. and you know, applause to Leo on the team at npm. Anyway, the team who shipped that have done a fantastic thing for the ecosystem security.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, let's go for you first.
Follow up to that question. You just skipped it completely. Hypothetically, let's imagine that npm was donated from GitHub to a non-profit foundation. Hypothetically, definitely not going to happen anytime within
a week.
The next 6 months.
Time slice
Would
differently.
npmx be interested in being merged into npm?
Daniel?
So I think there's maybe a sort of can maybe each contribute a little bit to it. I think we are absolutely in the same space as wanting to be maybe part of a foundation ourselves. We are absolutely not in the space. I mean, we love to joke about getting VC funding and then rug pulling and launching a crypto coin, and we find that humorous. And maybe it's not humorous to joke about that, but obviously that is not what we want, right? We want npmx to be a community project from the all the way. So foundation, we are foundation adjacent. We're talking about how we can do that best. We probably don't want to do anything that is going to stifle the innovation and iteration that is true of npmx. So any solution, if being, for example, npmjs.com, one reason it maybe hasn't innovated as much as people would like is because it is the official website of the registry. And that comes with certain expectations and responsibilities. And I mean, I would have liked to see more innovation, but you understand why it slows. And I wouldn't like that to be true for npmx.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we were in that situation, npmx would move much slower.
There might not be noodles.
Yeah.
Like that, we want our noodles.
Okay, now with this question.
Just one thing before this is, I think that as we saw, like with the unbundling of like the three pieces, like the infra, the CLI, and the browser for packages, maybe the option is not to like move the three pieces together to the same foundation, but maybe the option is to unbundle them, and like maybe some company like consortium foundation can run the infra. Maybe like we have PNPM is pretty good. I don't think that it should move anywhere. Like maybe we need continue to work on governance, help Sultan with more funding. I don't know, we can talk. And npmx, it could be a different foundation, maybe a smaller one that is community based, and maybe that helps with checks and balance, because having control in the community of the UI, it's a lot of check and balancing for what the infra can do on the other side.
And if they were open source and were then taking chunks of npmx, you'd be okay with that?
Oh,
MIT license, right? So they could
Yes.
just lift it and shift it onto the top, and you'd be okay with that while running npmx in the same.
That would be a success, I think,
Yeah.
because they've taken the good of what we've built and adopted it.
Yeah. We are probably going to copy the hell out of them if they do good things.
Might innovate and improve.
Yeah.
We've heard a little bit about potential futures with alternate registries, maybe. If instead we need to love the one we're with, and perhaps any of the panel were in charge of NPM at Microsoft and were given all the resources you want, what would you do to perhaps to the parts that obviously npmx you already have control over, but the parts that you don't have control over today, what vision do you have for those?
Maybe.
Willow, do you want to talk about data?
Yes.
I have spent a very long time going through the registry, trying to normalize the data, because it's there's not a lot of checks applied to the data. That's basically everything in our package JSON is put in. But there's also a lot you can do that's fun in there, like analyzing the documents and trying to find trends, especially these days with all the security vulnerabilities, trying to scan for those. I guess to answer the part about what we don't have access to, stuff like having better insights into the downloads of a package, where they're coming from, an API to get them without spamming NPM so much, to get this information. That's sort of what I would be after.
I would say similar to telemetry, basically. So an example is, again, the downloads. People are still going to use the download number to decide if to use a package or not. But for example, a thing I really want to see is the real number of downloads that a user installs, because quite a large amount of the downloads are from deep dependencies. So if we could calculate things like that to show how popular a package is with users, it's all metrics that you could theoretically pull out of the registry if you owned it. And similar things related to security will count on that as well. But yeah, basically having access to that data and having access to the number of requests and how many, like what's downloading this. Is it a person? Is it a bot? Is it CI or whatever? All that kind of stuff. If you had that, you could improve the registry quite a lot, basically. Yeah.
I would really like faster APIs and something in between the current minimal response and then the whole document. Because in order to render the page, a page on npmx, we have to download the entire document for that package. And some packages, the document is over 100 meg. So on the server, in order to render that page, we have to download 100 meg, parse that JSON, do stuff to it, and then render it. It is incredible we're actually able to be fast. And it is also expensive. And I would love it if there was some way we could get access to that kind of data without having to be either npmjs.com or access only the minimal. And Willow is actually doing some very cool stuff about this. So if we suddenly are we have to see this amazing improvement in npmx.com, I would bet that she's probably behind it somehow. But yes, that would be a really nice thing.
I would love to improve more registry support. As you saw what I worked with, I think it's good to support more data and meet people where they are. These things that we love to work. And the more options we give, the better for everyone.
No, it would be very nice.
We have
Like
lots of
do we
ideas.
have any idea of how we can get access to?
So,
I mean, is a proposal or like?
The proposal is
hypothetical?
that we wave the magic wand and you're in charge of NPM at Microsoft.
Right? You don't have the ability to log into your NPM account on npmx.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Actually,
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
You can do quite a lot of admin work on npmx. But and honestly, it was there on day one. But I haven't actually done much work on it. And actually, I don't know. Does anyone know that you could do that? You can publish packages on npmx.com. If you're logged in, which you can, and search for a package that doesn't exist, it will say, do you want to claim the package? And you can click a button and publish a blank package to npm registry, and it will actually tell you, please use the scoped package. Don't pollute the package registry, but it is possible to do that.
By the way, one thing that I would want is to ban unscoped package names.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, because
Squatting.
well, yeah, like for example, the util package that is the basically a browser port of Node util is accidentally installed quite a lot, as in hundreds of millions of installed.
There's also the I package and the install package and a number of other packages like this, which routinely turn up in people's package JSONs because they typed it twice.
And AWS Lambda, for example, which is so when you make a Lambda, you import from AWS Lambda, but it's not a real module on npm, but it is. Some guy claimed it, and it's a CLI that does some other thing. So, if everything was required to be in a scope, then it's org based, and that no one can squat on like the name of a node built in, is what I would say. But, yeah.
It's worth saying that there is an RFC process on GitHub. You can create RFCs. It's like decently active. Things like the install scripts changes went through there. So there is some stuff that can be talked about and changed. Obviously, sometimes companies can be kind of a black box, so there's only so much you can do, but it's not entirely hopeless.
Shall we take some online questions?
I think there's one that says, what makes it so damn, in caps, fast? npmx.
It's the power of Nux.
Hashes. an insane amount of caching.
So it's a lot of cache.
All the cache.
So one of the reasons actually why I was so interested in creating it to start with was that we were shipping a new feature in Nuxt, which was payload caching. And the idea was that when you navigate from one page to another page, it's possible if you have a totally static site in Nuxt, when you generate that, we can create payloads, which is basically all the data that each page needs to display that page and for a client-side navigation. And so what you can do is before you navigate to that other page, you download the data and store it in the browser cache. So that when you do then navigate, it's there. No network call needs to happen. It's just there already. But that was only for static websites. So the feature we shipped was, what about doing that for dynamic websites? So if that other page is cached in any way, we can infer that it's safe to cache the data for the page as well, which means that if before you navigate to that page, we can download the data for you in advance, trusting that it's safe to cache it, trusting that because it's cached, it's safe to do that, and then you get instant navigation. So that is a cool feature I was really, really happy to build, and I thought it would be nice to demo it. And so that is, I think, probably one of the things that makes npmx feel fast most.
And what you mentioned.
And caching.
And caching. And what you mentioned earlier, we use Anthony's fast npm meta, which is to achieve what you were describing, where you can get a
Yes.
latest version instead of the whole package.
There are actually so many other things to add because a lot of people have. So I would say another, here are a few. So one, we're hosted on Vercel, which is actually my employer. And I think that actually makes a huge difference.
Pay the links, for example.
Two, Algolia came to us very early on and they offered us their insanely fast search. You can actually test this out by going to the website and switching search providers. You can have npm or you can have Algolia. I defy, like Algolia is so fast that anyway, it's incredible. And so that more than anything else, if you're searching and you think it's fast, it's probably Algolia that's made it feel that way. And Anthony's fast, it's called fast npm meta, and he has a server which I think he probably created it to power Taze, which is his CLI. And it is so good because it is very fast. One of the things we do have a potential issue is that because of all of these speed optimizations, sometimes we're a little bit out of date. So you'll publish a new package and you refresh the page, and the version in one place would be a bit different from the version in another place. Just refresh it again; it will be fine. Those are some things, and I probably should be mentioning others, but those are two.
And in Giants was lots of iterations. Now, when I joined the team, the early days, how many years ago it was?
2000.
Yeah, it was. It's already was incredibly fast. It's already was. You really felt it. You just type it. You immediately receive the information. And then you watch new PRs and you see Daniel, it's like 200 milliseconds fast, and you're like, what? It already was immediate. And then you see, oh, actually, you miss 50 milliseconds more here, and you make one more improvement, and boom, it's even faster. It's all the time, and many of our contributors just time to time improve every little detail. That's why, again, because of people.
Yeah.
They cared about each detail.
Yeah. Go for it.
Well, how do you ensure it stays fast? Do you have if someone raises a PR, is there a block that immediately says this has made the page slower or faster, or is it you kind of double checking that things
So
don't progress?
we don't have that quite yet, but
that would be a good PR.
Yeah. We are already talking about exactly that and more, because there are so many pull requests that it can easily slip over time, and so it's a thing we need to figure out imminently, because if we're keeping velocity up, then it is going to get slower unless we have automations. But yeah, come up with some Nux thing, Daniel. You can do it.
I think it's a testament to Nuxt and caching that everyone says, "Oh my God, this is so fast," but there are tangible things we could do even without npm API changes in the code base that would make it faster because of contributions. You know, maybe someone didn't know that we're fetching this here, so we could like do little micro optimizations everywhere. But you know, you probably won't even notice because it's already really fast anyway.
That's true. Yeah. I'll go for it.
I know the next major of Nuxt is looking to also go up even further in terms of performance and speed. Is it going to be a priority for npmx to possibly? I know that we're going to be testing Nuxt 5 up to the upcoming minor. Is it going to be a priority to also test the new major and migration possibly to put npmx migrated to Nuxt 5 early?
So the best way to test is to do it with real projects.
Is npmx in ecosystem CI of Nuxt?
No, so it should be. We have a, if anyone doesn't know about it, Ecosystem CI was a project that originally came out of Vite. And the idea was that because there's so many projects depending on Vite, why not test before releasing a new version of Vite whether any of the CI of those projects failed. So basically clone the repo and run whatever their test suite was. Who cares? Run it. If it was passing, but fails because of something Vite did, that's a bug Vite needs to fix. All right? And it's such a brilliant idea. So we adopted it in Nuxt, Vue adopted it, Storybook adopted it, Angular, a lot of, maybe with some changes, some are forks, some are implementations in a different way. And it's genuinely something I love most because it gives me a lot of confidence when I'm working to release a new version of Nuxt to be able to test and say, okay, this representative snapshot of packages that depend on Nuxt aren't going to break. Because sometimes things that I think are totally the right thing to do have unintended consequences and that aren't caught by Semver. And so, yeah, if you have a package that's open source and uses Nuxt and is sort of a different representation of something we already test, let me know. We'll add it to Ecosystem CI and test against it.
We can even test it in PRs, for example, before not only like the main, but if there is a PR that we want to try. In Vite, I think like we are testing like the CIs of 25 of the main project, like Nuxt, SLKit, like Remix. Like, it's so many tests. We just don't run it more because we are afraid of like burning so many trees with all this.
Is there anything that this is, I guess, more towards Daniel and Matias? Is there anything you guys have learned while developing npmx that you could apply to, for example,
This is one for you, Matias.
For me. Yes, I see that on every, like we learn a lot in Elk that we apply in npmx. And like every project we have been, like, it's not the same group of people because every time that we start a new project, and we is a very fuzzy term there, it is like more people, for example, at the proto folks are really cool to work with. And again, we have like 2 core members at Swing, I don't know, like from a proto in the project. And I think it was some lessons we are repeating, what it works. For example, in Elk and in Vitesse too, we started with the project, it was private at the beginning. And only the people that care enough to say, like raise their hands and like, I want to be involved, you know, like it was not public for I think that we did for like 2 months. And in Elk we did the same, it was private there, gave us like a private enterprise thing so we can, we had like 100 contributors already, the thing did private. And in npmx, we didn't did private because it was public, but still we didn't talk that much. And we ended up even, for example, the Discords. Now there are 2 Discords, and one it is for the builders, and the other one is going to be like a community Discord. And we want to try that because, like, if we saw, for example, in the Vite Discord that at one point there is like 1,000 times more users than the people that are building, and it's amazing. Like it's a very good thing that there is a lot of users helping each other, but at the same time, like there is a lot of like more of a support vibe and not that much of like peers working together. that we want to keep that space also, so that we can have both. At least it's not a problem. So we are trying that, and yeah, there is a like that. There is a lot of things that we keep improving. Like we are going to keep changing.
We've got time for one more question. Go for it.
So at the moment, it feels like quite a hostile time in the open source space from the point of view of AI contributions and spam and relatedly security onslaught, security issues and vulnerabilities. Yet the npmx project is very arms open, very welcoming and friendly. How are you able to do that at a time when it feels more hostile than ever? The contribution space, and some projects are kind of closing their doors and saying, we're going to try and keep this like on the inside.
Daniel, do you want to have a step at this?
I think actually those are all related, because if you take AI PRs, the reason I don't welcome AI PRs without a person involved is because open source is about people, and it's about connection and trust. And being welcomed and being part of a community, and it being fine if you're not perfect. That's what open source is about. That's what it was for me when I started making contributions that were imperfect, or when I asked questions on Discord and people told me the answers, and I was then able to be part of the chain and help other people with the same answers and the same kind of help that I had been given. And that is absolutely nothing new. That's not new at all. That is, well, at least in my experience, and I'm quite a newbie to open source and indeed to tech, but I would say that is for me what open source is this human connection, community, being valued, being included, which is one reason, for example, why inclusion and diversity is not optional. It's not some nice value that we're sort of tacking on. It's actually the core of everything that we're doing, by the way. And I think things like security vulnerabilities are all tackling a similar kind of thing. They are exploiting. They're trying to remove our trust. And so, why does something like npmx flourish at a time when bosses are telling their employees you have to do things in a different way and you have to conform to corporate standards, and when people's PRs and the things they're reviewing, they feel like maybe am I really talking to my colleague, or am I talking to my colleague's agent? When they feel like the trust is being eroded all around them. Of course, projects where people are trusted and welcomed and valued are going to thrive, and that's not unique to npmx, which would be true of any project. And I think we need to keep throwing those doors wide open, because that is what it's all about.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Lay down the band hammer. Alto, was it a quick question?
I'm happy with that as the final question.
Yes, pub, come if you'd like. Drinking optional. I forgot what it's called.
It is called the long arm. Yeah. It's very close. It's that way. That way. That way. Where is nearby? Just follow us. Yeah. Thanks all for coming as well.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No, I want to leave it. Wow, so I was going to ask you guys specifically
Good.